What is up, you guys? It's Pete DiCarlo, and today I want to talk about the hardest decision that I've had to make in my life up until today, and that's, should you go to college? Now, before I start this video, I want to preface this by the fact that I didn't finish college. I dropped out of college. I overall pretty much hated college, and I want to go over the pros and the cons of college and what you should be thinking. In my personal opinion, I'm gonna end up being pretty biased just because I didn't finish college and I didn't see a need for it, but you know, it's a personal thing. You could talk to a doctor or a lawyer and they would believe that college is the most important thing that anybody can ever do. I want to talk about my personal schooling experience first. In grade school, I was diagnosed with ADHD. I was just a normal kid. I wanted to constantly be running around. I was always hyper, probably loaded up on sugar because my parents didn't really understand health and wellness at the time. And I just wanted to not have anything to do with school, which I feel is pretty normal. It's hard to tell a 12 and 13-year-old boy that you need to sit in a chair for 8 hours a day and just listen to an old person speak to you or read a book. But the point was, now that I was diagnosed, I had something wrong with me and a learning disability, which in my opinion is but I was fully medicated on Ritalin and a whole bunch of other different drugs for the time being until I could fix my learning disability. Even from a young age, I was told that I was lazy, and I could completely agree with that. I never wanted traditional responsibility as a child or even an adult, and honestly even to this day. But what I realized from a young age was that I was amazing at learning everything about something I cared about. When I first started skateboarding, I would just tirelessly as a kid watch old skateboard videos on VHSs. I would ride my skateboard everywhere. I would look at all the magazines. I would find out what are the newest clothes that are coming out, the newest decks, the newest trucks, the newest anything that was coming out. I was so obsessed with it. This eventually moved into video games and music and playing guitar, and now as an adult, the stock market, real estate, creating YouTube videos. From a very young age, even until now, I realized that when I become obsessed with something, I'm not lazy. See, I'm actually one of the smartest people I know, but only when it comes down to learning something I want to learn. In my entire life, I was told that that was not a gift, but that that was a curse. And so, all through high school, I had a terrible time in school. And going into college, it was even worse. I mean, overall, I didn't have bad grades in college. I actually made Dean's List a couple of times, but that was during semesters when I had a bunch of classes that I wanted and electives that I liked, or if it was an English class or something, a book that I wanted to read. And all the other times, I did pretty poorly. I didn't care about math. I didn't care about a lot of the things that I was doing, but the things that I really enjoyed, I excelled at. And so, halfway through my second year of college, I realized this is stupid. Like, I'm just wasting my money. I'm wasting my parents' money. And I decided that what I wanted to do was to leave college, and I wanted to make my own schooling and learn how to learn, because not a lot of people know how to learn. I'll talk about this in another video in the future, but it's called meta learning, and it's essentially learning how to learn. And you can drastically become infinitely years smarter just by learning how to learn, because the school systems do a terrible job at teaching you how to learn. They put you in a chair for 8 hours a day and just throw information at you. And yeah, in some high school classes and in some college classes, there are discussions, there are open talks, there are better ways to learn in my opinion, but it's just still not enough. And in this video, I'm not going to try to deter anybody from college because it's great for some people, but I just want you to ask yourself some things. And with that, I think the first thing is that you have to be crystal clear 100% about what it is that you want to do. For me, it was to decide my own income, to live a life of importance, to inspire my generation and every generation to become better. I wanted to live not a lavish life, but a life where I didn't have to worry about bills, to keep my spending as low as it can, to be happy. And honestly, the most important thing was to be able to change what I'm doing if I'm not enjoying it. Which, if you go to college for 10 years and you get out with your master's and you just want to change what you want to do, good luck. It's not that easy. Now, don't get me wrong, my main goal was to become an entrepreneur, but that's not what a lot of people think it is. It's not just not doing anything that you don't want to do. honestly, being an entrepreneur is doing the things you don't want to do every single day. Like a lot of these times, I don't want to spend 6 hours going over different charts and patterns. I don't want to go to the gym every day. I don't want to eat healthy. I don't want to be super microscopic with my nutrition. I don't want to read books most of the time or consume content. But you have to. That's the beauty of entrepreneurship. That's the beauty of being your own boss, is that every single day you do the stuff that you don't want to do, and no one's holding your hand saying, hey, if you don't do this, then you're gonna fail, or if you don't do this, then I'm gonna fire you. The consequences are actually much worse, because it's like, if I don't do this, I'm not gonna make money. I'm not gonna provide for myself and the people I care about. Now, once you've gotten crystal clear on your vision and where you wanna be, if the business that you want to be in requires a degree, or requires college, such as being a dentist, a doctor, a psychologist, a lawyer, if that's a requirement, then yes, college is for you. But if you're just going for a business degree or something you don't need the degree for, it's kind of pointless. Because most of the time you'll see people going for a degree, they'll spend $10,000, $20,000 on a couple months of tuition, and then out of nowhere they just realize they hate it. They don't want to be in that business. They don't want to be a lawyer. Maybe they intern for a lawyer and they're like, hey, this guy and these guys in this entire business, they're terrible. They hate their lives. They don't like what they're doing. What I would recommend you do, and we'll say it's the person who's going to school for business, go work and donate your time. Be an intern. Call the top business people in your field or in your niche that you want to work in. That you can meet them through LinkedIn, whatever the case may be, and whoever you want to work with. Call that person and donate your time for free. Soak up the culture of the environment. Soak up everything you can and find that mentor. Work in the real world and understand that experience. Because hey, maybe you want to get into real estate investing. You go donate 6 months of your time for free, which is not that much. You learn a lot about real estate, and you might say to yourself, I hate this. I don't want to do this. Remember, college tuition isn't cheap. Most of the time, you're 18 years old making $100,000 decisions. That causes remorse. That causes stress on kids and parents who are paying the tuition that doesn't need to happen. And that's another thing I hate about college, is stress, the fear of failing. I've learned the most in my life through my failures. I like to say that you never learn in the 7 and the 8s of life just coasting. You learn in the dirt and in the mud. You learn at your 1s, which is your absolute lowest, and your 10s, which is your highest successes. I've learned the most in terrible business deals. I learned the most when I lost $10,000 in the stock market in a month. I learned the most all the times I got arrested when I was a kid. And every time I've been down and out is when I've learned the most. And it's upsetting that college doesn't look at it like that. Like, you can't just fail a couple of semesters at a college and they're like, you know what, listen, Pete, this is what you're not good at. This is what we need to work with. It's okay. Like, we encourage you to fail. That's never going to happen, because then you have to be held back. You're not going to be able to complete the semester. You're going to have pressure from your friends. You're going to feel like an idiot. Your family might hate you. Like, imagine if you're a parent. You took on an extra job just to pay for your kid's tuition, and then that kid keeps failing and failing, and then that's more money that you have to spend. And that's a lot of stress on the kids too. I would feel terrible if my parents were working 2 jobs to get me into college and I'm over here failing, not because I'm slacking off, because there's so much stress. The human body and brain cannot take stress. And that's mostly what college is. Nobody has ever encouraged their kids or family members to fail in school and to pick themselves up and to learn. And it's sad, because I truly believe that failure is a part of education. You can't have a furthering education without failure. The other thing is what I call monkey see, monkey do. And alright, so take this as an example. When I first started caring about my health, hitting the gym, working out, I would always go to the gym and get on an elliptical machine or a bike, because that's just what I thought you do. Then I started looking around. All the people I wanted to look like were over doing compound lifts at the free weights area. Everyone that I wanted to look like were maybe on a treadmill doing sprints. All the people I wanted to look like were doing calisthenics. And therefore, I bring that in all aspects of my life. Because if I want something you have or you are, that I'm going to do the same thing. It just makes sense. And in college, I remember professors teaching me about how to build a business, how to run a multi-million-dollar marketing campaign, and these people were teachers, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that they've never done that. They've never built a Fortune 500 company. They've never ran a multi-million-dollar ad campaign. They've literally just done nothing but taught how to do that. And personally, I can't trust that. I can't trust those people. I cannot rely on somebody who's never done something to teach me how to do it. That was a huge turnoff to me for college. That's why as soon as I dropped out, I started my own schooling. I said, I'm gonna read 52 books a year. I'm gonna spend the time to indulge in all of these courses and go to workshops because I wanna learn from the people who have done it. I wanna learn from the Jeff Bezos, the Elon Musk, the Warren Buffetts, and guess what? All of that information is out there. Hundreds of interviews with all of these people. All of these books by many authors that I have in my library right now. And honestly, I've learned more from books than I learned in 13 years of schooling. And now, one thing I don't like is when entrepreneurs talk about tuition and student loan debt, because it's not like you're gonna not go to school and just not spend money furthering your career, because you will not have a long and successful career if you do not spend time and money and your own tuition. I've made dumb decisions in the past. You know, I've lost, like I said earlier, $10,000 in the stock market before at one time. I've had bad business deals. I've done a lot of stuff, and I've spent a lot of money on books and workshops and courses. That's my tuition. I'm probably $30,000 in my own tuition, but it's a part of the game. It's something you have to do. You can't just be like, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur and I'm just gonna watch some YouTube videos and start a business, and like, you have to fail. You have to spend the money. Tuition, it's not free no matter either route you go. My final thoughts are that if you're somebody who's undisciplined or unmotivated, or honestly, even if you're just somebody who's never been a visionary and somebody who wants to work for themselves, college could be good for you because it gives you guidelines, it gives you requirements. It says this is due on this day or you are out. And some people just need that. And there's nothing wrong with it. There really isn't. I know a lot of my friends who have gone to college who, yeah, racked up a lot of student loan debt, but they're making good money. They like what they're doing. They're happy with what they're doing. But if you're somebody who wants to further develop personally, to be in charge of your destiny and really learn at your own pace, and you're okay with not having a degree, think to yourself, what do you want to really do? And honestly, even if you're coming out of high school and you're watching this video and you decide you want 2 full years to try it on your own, or to just take some time off and, you know, enjoy life, then do it. You know, in my opinion, that's the most important thing. I know a lot of people who have taken off from school, take 2 or 3 years off, and they go back to college at 21. You can still go for 8 years and get your master's at 29. I'm gonna thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to talk about. I plan on this YouTube channel being a lot of hands-on investing tips and strategies, but I kind of want to get out of the way the more mindset and personal development aspects that come with being a trader, that come with being a real estate investor and an entrepreneur, because especially with trading, 80% of it is psychological. You have to have the mindset, you have to have the discipline, the motivation, you have to have all of that, or you're gonna end up blowing a lot of money. All right, guys, until next time, I'll see you.